Hello everybody, welcome to Wander by Nature. So I've already done a video on the Arkansas section of the Transamerica Trail that I rode, and I've done a video on the mods I make to the bike to get it ready for the trip. So what I want to cover today is all the gear we used and how we packed it on the bike, and perhaps most importantly is how we would do things differently next time. So what I've got here are the saddlebags that I used. These are the Dri-Spec D20s. They just straddle the back of your seat. The D20 is for 20 liters per bag, and they're just basic roll down dry bags. So you put all your stuff in, pinch this closed, roll them down, and that's how they stay waterproof. And then what I've got here on either side of them is all the stuff that I put in each bag. The way I did this was this bag was on the right, on the muffler side, on the exhaust side. So I put things in here that I thought could better withstand a little bit additional heat from the exhaust. And then basically over here I had all of my food. So on this side was essentially all of my camping stuff. Like I said, it was the stuff that could better tolerate a little more heat. So I had a cook kit, a water bottle full of water, this little battery operated lantern, a saw, an axe. This was a triple-way plug so that we could charge all of our accessories, phones, drones, GoPros, all that stuff. Some cord to make a clothesline, a pair of gloves if I wanted to cut firewood or whatever, and then my shower shoes. I didn't want those with the food. On this side, I had all of my food. I had a can of beans for the chili. I had tomatoes for the chili that I was going to make, a can of soup, a can of ramen noodles, a can of tomato paste for spaghetti, some oatmeal, noodles for spaghetti, tortillas for sandwiches, a bunch of snacks here. These are the packages for chili mix, spaghetti mix, and a tuna packet, and then some apples. So all of that went in here. This is the main bag that I used. It was on basically on the back part of my back seat. It was not on the tail rack because I had a cooler there. I'll go into that in just a minute. This was the main bag that I used. This is a Wolfman Expedition duffel. This is the medium size. They also have a small and a large. I'm just going to go around and show you everything I have. Right here, this is my GoPro kit. So it has the GoPro, chargers, batteries, cables, any accessories that I need for the GoPro. And then in here, in this big monstrosity, is my drone. So it has the drone, the remote, batteries, chargers, cables, all that kind of stuff as well. This is all the stuff I used at camp. So I try to keep it pretty bare minimum, but when I get to camp I want to change into something kind of dry and clean after I've been riding all day. So I have a hat, a pair of shoes that I wear at camp. This is a towel. I do take a bathing suit. Here's a pair of dry socks, t-shirt and shorts, and then if it did cool off a little bit at night I had a toboggan and a fleece sweatshirt there. I take shorts and a bathing suit so that if I go swimming, I have a dry pair of shorts to change into. This is a battery charger slash jump starter. So it's kind of big, to be honest with you. The charger itself is pretty small, but when you include the cables, it takes up quite a bit of space. This is my shaving kit, so toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, that kind of stuff. First aid kit. Right here I've got a SteriPen water purifier. This is just a little container full of extra batteries. This is a AA headlamp, and then this is a AA flashlight. A little bit of redundancy there. These are my riding clothes, or my spare riding clothes, so I would have each day be able to change into something that's had a chance to kind of dry out. So just socks, underwear, and then Under Armour compression heat gear, long sleeve. I like to ride in those. And then here I've got a tackle box, and this is a fishing reel. This is a collapsible fishing rod. This is my sleeping bag. You can see it's pretty small. It's down. This is Aegis Max that I bought on Amazon, and it's rated probably to about 50 degrees. I really like the quality of that, and I obviously like how small it packs down to. This is a Cocoon inflatable pillow. This is my sleeping pad, which is a Thermarest X-Lite, Neo Air X-Lite. This is the large, so it's about 25 inches by 77 inches, and I think it inflates to about 2.5 inches thick, and it weighs, I think, 16 ounces. So these are a little bit loud and crunchy. That really doesn't bother me, so I'm pretty happy with this. And then I had this GorillaPod tripod, and then I had a full-size tripod as well. So all of this went in the bag. I also have a tent and a chair that did not go in the bag. Let me get that. So this is just an ultralight camping chair. I bought this on Amazon, and you can see it packs down pretty small, and it only weighs about 2 pounds. And this is the Big Agnes Copper Spur 3. I got the 3 so that my wife and I could sleep in this pretty comfortably. So for one person, it's pretty spacious. I really like this. It's real compact and it only weighs about 5 pounds. Those went on the top like this. And I really didn't have room in the bag for these, but I wouldn't want to put my tent in there with all my stuff because the tent a lot of times in the morning when you're packing up is wet from either dew or rain. So it stayed outside. And I wanted to be able to get to the chair real easily in case we stopped somewhere for lunch perhaps, and I wanted to be able to sit down. So that's why these went on top. This was the last thing I packed on the bike. This is a Yeti Flip 12, and I had this on the tail rack. This had all of our cold food items, and I'll just go through and walk through what we loaded in there. I had a half a gallon of milk. I like to drink milk with breakfast and with dinner, so I go through a lot of milk. I had 2 Cokes. This was a package of ham. This was 6 eggs that took up roughly about that much space in their little carton. I had 2 water bottles full of ice, and I had 2 packages of ground beef, one for spaghetti and one for chili. There it is. Now, let's go load everything on the bike, see what it looks like. This is what the bike looks like when I've got the saddlebags on. As you can see, they straddle over the seat. Then I've got this bag kind of pushed forward, resting on top of the saddlebags, and then the cooler is back here on the tail rack. This setup has a couple of inherent problems. The first is it puts this bag really far forward. So when I get on the bike, you can see that I'm in a really far forward position, which is not all that comfortable. Second problem is this bag sits on top of the saddlebags, which means I really can't get to the saddlebags without first removing this. Let's go through the camping stuff on this side and see what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to get rid of. I will keep my cook kit. I'll keep my water bottle. I don't need this lantern. The headlamps do just fine, so we'll get rid of that. I'm not going to use a saw. I'm not going to use this hatchet. I will keep this cord for a clothesline. I'll keep this to charge things. I don't think I need the gloves. I can use the gloves I ride in. Over here on the food side, what I'm going to do is prepare one meal and freeze it, and I'll keep that in a cooler. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then the rest of the meals I'm going to do kind of dehydrated meals or macaroni and cheese with tuna in it and stuff like that. So I will keep the water bottle, but that's going to go over here. All the food will go on this side now. Beans for chili. I won't do that. I'm not going to cook chili, so I'll get rid of that. Diced tomatoes for the chili. Not going to cook the chili, so I'll get rid of that. Extra can of soup. Don't need that either. Tomato paste for the spaghetti, don't need that, not going to cook. I will keep the oatmeal, that'll go on this side. Don't need the noodles for spaghetti, get rid of those. I will keep these tortillas to make sandwiches. I will keep the snacks. And I don't need the chili or spaghetti sauce mixes. I will keep the tuna packet. And I don't need the ramen noodles. So as you can see, that trims it way down. One thing I do plan on doing though with the tuna is cooking some macaroni and cheese. Let me get that. Got that handy right here, so I will include that on this side. That's what's going to go on this side. What I'm going to do on this side is I have this little soft side cooler. Doesn't hold a lot, but I think it'll hold just enough. That's going to go down in here. So I'm going to take 2 water bottles filled with ice. I'm going to buy those little cans or bottles of milk. They're about 12 ounces. And take 2 of those. I don't have any of those, so I'm going to substitute 2 Cokes for those. Take a small package of ham. On the food side, and there we have it. The shower shoes will have to go in the main bag. I'll slip them in a plastic bag so they don't get anything wet. Now let's go through all this and see what we're going to keep and what we're going to get rid of. So on the GoPro, I think I will just take the GoPro itself and not all this case and all the accessories. I'll take the GoPro, I'll keep it in my jacket or mount it on the bike, and I'll take a cable to charge it with, so I won't need this whole case. I'm still deliberating on the drone. For now, I'm going to say I'm going to keep it. It is big, but I can get really good footage with that, so I'm going to keep that. I will keep all of these camp clothes except for the fleece sweater and the toboggan. As warm as it was, I wouldn't need that. Obviously, if I was going to be somewhere colder, I would. So I'm going to lose that. I'm not going to keep this. I can charge things either on the bike, or if we're at a campsite or hotel that has electricity, we can charge there. And if I need to jump, I'll just push start it. So I'm not going to keep that. I will keep my overnight kit, first aid kit. This flashlight, I already have a headlamp. I don't really need a flashlight. Plus, I carry an extra headlamp in my Camelback. So I'm not going to keep that. I am going to keep the batteries. I am going to keep the headlamp. Don't think I need a water purifier. If I need to in a pinch, I'll boil water. I will keep my spare riding clothes. As much as I like the idea of fishing when I'm on a trip, it seems to rarely work out. So I am going to not include the fishing gear. I'm not going to take the rod. I'm not going to take the tackle box, and not going to take the fishing rod. Obviously, I will keep my sleeping bag, the pillow, and the sleeping pad. So that's what's going to go into this bag. There you have it, all loaded up. Much lighter, much more compact. As for the cooler, on the tail rack, you saw that I already replaced the cooler and put a smaller one in one of the saddlebags, so this cooler will not be making the next trip. Let's take the new way that we're going to do this and go load it on the bike, see how it looks. This is what the bike looks like when I take the cooler off the tail rack and I move this bag back onto the tail rack. Now I've essentially got almost the entire seat available for me to use. I can stand up much easier. I can get balanced on the bike. Just much better when that bag is moved back. In addition to that, now I can also much more easily get to the saddlebags if I need to. Get down in here. Alright, that wraps up this video. I hope this helps you on your next motorcycle adventure.